JRTV is back with the second race of the 2004 NASCAR Nextel Cup Series season. We're here in Fontana, California at the California Speedway for the running of the Auto Club 500. I'm Joe Rakowski. Alongside me in the booth, it is Trey Bardo. Trey, it's great to be here out in California, out in the West Coast. Just outside of LA, we've seen some great stars here at the racetrack this weekend for the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series race. But now the 42 stars of the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series are ready to hit the track and perform for 50 laps of action for the second race of the season. So Trey, we go from the high banks of Daytona, 2.5 mile racetrack, to a very similar racetrack, a little bit less banking, a little bit shorter, but otherwise pretty similar racing. We're going to see some crazy stuff here today at California.
Yeah, you think you thought you had enough excitement for 1 week, Joe? Well, we're going to go back-to-back weeks with it, and I'm just ready to see the moves and the daring, stuff these drivers do just to get another win.
Well, a manufacturer that's set up well to maybe win this race here today are the Chevrolets. Look at all of them at the front. You have the top 4 positions all taken by the bow ties. Then you have the Fords on row number 3, but then another Chevy in row 4, and then 2 more Chevys to round out the top 10. So there's 3 Fords, 3 blue ovals inside the top 10. The rest 7 are Chevrolet drivers. So Trey, what is it about Chevy, do you think, that maybe has found an upper hand here at California? Is it something to do with the speeds, with the engine package? Is it something to do with the aerodynamics? Or does that just show that they maybe have a whole package based around this race car for the rest of the season?
I mean, it could definitely be a little bit of everything. I feel like each manufacturer, each season they look at one, part of the type of racing we go to, and they really focus on that. And it seems like Chevy really likes these more high-speed racetracks and, racetracks where it's more about, how well the car can handle with the maneuvers they got to do, and it really seems like Chevy's got that down. So we'll have to see if they can continue it when we go to other tracks, but more importantly, if they can come out here today and steal quite a few of the top 10 spots.
Watch out for some of those major Chevy teams as well. They've shown some pace here in qualifying and practice. You see Matthew Burnett, Frederick Motorsports, just his second start for the team. He's on pole position. His teammate Lathan Strickland, who won here in 2000 for Andy Peacher Racing, right behind him in third. And then their teammate Keegan Thompson has not had much success here at the California Speedway. Thompson starts in 11th. Their other 2 teammates a little bit further back for Jerry Chen and for Drew Webb. However, they can try and make their way through the field. They have 50 laps to do so. Watch out for Richard Childress Racing. They have all 4 of their cars starting well here today. Evans starting outside pole in the 2nd position. You have Atkins starting in 7th, Kirchner starting in 9th, and then Kukulon starting in 12th. And then the Robert Yates duo both start on the 3rd row inside the top 10 with Spurley to in 6th and Luke Rennie in 5th. Watch for them. They were strong last season. They've been strong so far to start out this season. We'll see how they can do starting from row 3 here today at the California Speedway. But Trey, we were talking about race packages earlier, and here's something interesting, that this is really the first test of these new aerodynamic changes NASCAR made to the cars for the 2004 season. A little bit smaller spoiler on the back, Trey, so we're expecting to see maybe a little bit less drag down the straightaways, a little bit more speed, but also a lot worse handling through the corners. So, I mean, what do you expect to see? Tire wear maybe, go up, and we might see seconds of fall off over the course of a run? Maybe the field spread out a little bit more? Do you think that's something that could happen here today because of those changes?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. When you think of more speed, especially at places that aren't like Daytona or Talladega, you're gonna automatically think tire wear just because of how much stress you're getting put through in those corners there. And along with tire wear comes, the handling of the race cars, like you mentioned as well. So it'll be interesting to see how these drivers kind of figure out what to do with that new element into this play here, and who can come out on top.
Let's go take a look at the track facts here for the California Speedway. Beautiful day for racing, 67 degrees, so it's a very pleasant day for the drivers and the fans here. Nothing cold, nothing too hot for the fans and drivers to deal with. This track is 2 miles in length, and this will be a 50-lap race. That means 100 miles. The field window, they can go just past the midway point, about 28 to 32 laps. We'll see these drivers on pit road. We'll have to see how the strategy unfolds with the tire wear throughout the course of a green flag run. There's 14 degrees of banking in the corners, 11 degrees on the front stretch, 3 degrees on the back stretch. A big change from what we saw at Daytona, where it was 31 degrees of banking in the corners. There's less than half of that here at the California Speedway. And we'll have to see how it all plays out. Those 8 drivers that have gone home and did not qualify for the event here today at the California Speedway, the Auto Club 500. Skylar Taylor in the 09, John Barrymore in the 14, Nathan Ormond and Nathan Stapleton, both for Chip Ganassi Racing. And you have all 3 of the BAM cars, Colin Teague, Tegan Fox, and Angel Gutierrez. And then Joe Stobbs in the number 51 for Competitive Edge Motorsports also ended up missing the race here today at the California Speedway. It's about time to get going. Go on trackside, fire the car cars up for the second race of the 2004 season, the Auto Club 500 here at the California Speedway.
Drivers, start your engines!
42 engines roaring off pit road for the Auto Club 500, second race of the season here at the California Speedway. And Trey, let's go to your pick to win the race, starting in 7th place, number 3 car, Justin Atkins. He had success at Daytona, didn't really do all that much last week. What do you expect out of him? He's won on many intermediates in the past. Those are 1.5 mile racetracks. Why do you think he's going to win at this 2 mile racetrack in California here today?
I mean, just RCR as a whole, you know, they were strong at the Daytona 500, and right now they've got, 3 cars up in the top 10, and this 3 was honestly probably the strongest out of the ones we've seen last time out at Daytona. So I just think he has it here today, and he can pull away with the win.
And I see you take a Justin to win the race, so I'll raise a Justin of my own to win this race. I'm going with Justin Seidel in the number 2 car. Sure, as of late in the series as a whole, he hasn't been all that great. He hasn't had a top 10 in the last 8 races. He hasn't had a top 5 in 14 races. But Trey, he's been good at the California Speedway in the past. He's one of the fastest cars in this race last season. I think Seidel is going to break the winless drought here today at the California Speedway and win the Auto Club 500 for his first race win since the 2000 Southern 500 at Darlington. But it's a long race for all 42 of these drivers. We'll see which one has the strength at the end of 50 laps of action. Matthew Burnett, moving over from Roush Racing, looking for his first win since 2001, leads us to the green flag in the Hendrick Motorsports number 25. Well, Trace, they come out the back straightaway. These guys wasted no time to get 3 wide. Justin Atkins, like he did at Daytona, made a 3 wide bonsai move in turns 1 and 2. This time he makes it stick on the bottom of the racetrack. Lathan Strickland makes it stick for the lead. He clears teammate Matthew Burnett off turn number 4. Kirchner coming on Atkins as they battle down the front stretch, this very wide front straightaway. Lathan Strickland leads the first lap from 3rd starting spot. Matthew Burnett will fall in 2nd. Then they're 3 wide for 3rd. Atkins in the middle. Kirchner down low into turn number 1 as they all funnel down into the corners. Hunter slides up the track nearly into Riley's Pro Tube, and his teammate Tim Gary Moe, and we're wrecking at the back.
Oh, big wreck.
We have a few cars around. It's Jude Martinelli, Max Davis, and Chris Jericho in the 18. The yellow flag will come out in lap number 2. Trey, this is a track that has a history of early caution flags, and it happens here again in this race.
Yeah, and right now we have 2 Hendrick guys racing it back to the yellow, but Joe, that was a big hit, and well, Joe, it's another season, another trend going on there for that Jude Martinelli.
Yeah, that's he had, I believe, 8 DNFs last season. It's going to be another one here today as Lathan Strickland from 3rd starting spot leads the first 2 laps and back to the caution flag in front. His teammate Matthew Burnett's going to be 2nd. Kirchner in 3rd. DeLello is up to 4th. Luke Rainey, right about where he started, in 5th place. And I mean, luckily because Max Davis and Jude Martinelli, they were in this wreck together, they started mid-pack. And luckily we didn't get more cars involved. And obviously Chris Jericho involved in the 18 as well. But it looks like it was just a 3-car incident. Martinelli's going to be done. Max Davis, if he's not done, he's going to be severely off the pace. And Chris Jericho will be able to probably continue, but might be a little bit off the pace in the number 18. But I believe those are the only 3 cars involved in this accident over there in turns 1 and 2. And I mean, for Chris Jericho, Trey, he cannot find any luck here at the California Speedway. I mean, his 4 finishes here are 32nd, 5th, 10th, and 32nd. So, and he's qualified on average 5.5 here as the field is coming down on lap number 2, Trey. So this is kind of interesting. They've only completed 2 laps. Why would you think they'd be coming down the pit road this early?
I don't know, Joe. I've stopped questioning what the strategy these teams go with. I thought I knew what they were a couple of times, and I was completely wrong. That was close contact between the 6 and the 00. But yeah, I don't know what the benefit of this would be. Maybe just fuel topping off a little bit.
Yeah, you'd have to think they're only taking fuel on pit road. I actually see some guys jacking the cars up. You see Lathan Strickland, so I don't know if they think the tire wear is that big, but it looks like some did go with fuel only. Look at the 99 of Keyshawn Richardson going to lead them off. with Seidel and his teammate Mitchell Collins. Some are going for 4, some are going for none, some are going for 2. Look at Hernandez and Drew Webb getting spots. Fitzwater, the winner of this race last season. Crown Jr., Priya McShane. I mean, there is a mad dash coming off pit road because there's a lot of different strategies going on here. Some took 4, some took 2, some took none.
Yeah, this was interesting. You see a big drop there for the 3 just now coming off pit road. This is weird. I don't know what the I don't know how this is all going to shake out, Joe.
Well, I'd like to call for some of these front runners that are going to get some track position. Keyshawn Richardson is going to be out in front of the number 99. Looks like he takes fuel only. He has 2 Penske Jasper cars behind him. We'll go check out what happened, though. It's another Penske Jasper car that's going to be out from the first caution flag of the day. Martinelli, Davis, and Jericho crash in turns 1 and 2 here at the California Speedway. 4 wide rarely works here at the California Speedway, and on lap number 3, Jay Reno, the Daytona 500 winner, makes it 4 wide to the bottom, puts 2 Penske Jasper cars in the middle. Collins slides up the track. There's not enough room. He and Martinelli get together. That's up into Max Davis and Trey. This is a hard hit for Jude Martinelli. Look at that car. Oh.
Front and back both hit the catch fence. We're going to need some major repairs on that. Luckily, never turned over, Joe, but what a fallacious hit that was. I mean, 360 in the air, all 4 wheels off the ground. That was not what you want to see.
And then Davis came down the track and got into Chris Jericho. The 18 sustained damage from that right there, but definitely the worst of it, Jude Martinelli, a hard hit to the safer barriers that, tracks have been adding over the course of the offseason, and thankfully the California Speedway has added them there because that definitely softened the impact for Jude Martinelli up there in the turns 1 and 2 outside. Well, we'll go take a look at this wreck from a few more angles and at full speed. Here's another view, Trey, with how bad it looked in a slow speed. Look in real time.
Oh my goodness.
Thankfully,
Joe,
that car never went over.
Yeah, well, exactly. That's the big part there. That catch fence did its job, and the safe barrier did its job too. But still, I mean, as a driver, you feel majority of that hit, and he's going to be sore tomorrow morning. But luckily, hopefully, at least he is okay.
Now let's take another view from another camera that's kind of similar, but I think just a little bit more zoomed in on the 77, just to see this a little bit more closely. And another view down to turn 1. You just see the 4 wide, no room to do it, and a very aggressive move for such an early portion of the race. And for Jude Martinelli, definitely the worst of it. Also Max Davis with a lot of damage, and then Chris Jericho obviously hit. And speaking of Jericho, look on board the 2001 champion as he's involved in an early accident on lap number 3 here at the California Speedway. All right, Trey, on board with the 2001 champion, Chris Jericho. He sees the whole mess in front. Look at the impact from Martinelli, and then Davis comes right down into his path. Jericho may have saved a few cars behind him, Trey.
Yeah, I think he definitely did, Joe. I might have been going for your car right there. The 19, I was going to get T-boned, but luckily but unluckily for Jericho that he stopped that car.
Yep, so Chris Jericho involved, Max Davis, lots of damage, Jude Martinelli done early on here at the California Speedway. The Auto Club 500 pit strategy puts Keyshawn Richardson out in the wind for the first restart of the day. Early caution flag about to be over. We're on the lap to green with Keyshawn Richardson out in front. Jude Martinelli to the garage and done. But the other 2 cars involved, Max Davis, Chris Jericho, still out there in 41st and 42nd. So this number 21 car definitely not going to be up to speed. Let's see how slow he is and how much of a problem he becomes throughout the race. Chris Jericho, he's going to probably be slow because of the hit he had to the front of that number 18 car. Probably won't be as off the pace as Max Davis, though, and probably won't become as much of a nuisance. But Max Davis could definitely be very, very bad if that number 21 stays out there on the racetrack like it is. So we have Keyshawn Richardson out in front. A lot of pit strategy under this caution flag pit stop. So we have Richardson out front, Seidel in second, Collins in third, Hernandez in fourth, and Drew Webb up to fifth. The winner of this race last season, Zachary Fitzwater Sr., is 6th, and then 7th is Roberto Crown Jr. Those guys were probably all fuel only. You have Lathan Strickland, first car on pit road. He's now going to be 8th. We have Mathis Wells in 9th, and 10th place now for Priya McShane in the 00. So watch for the 48 and the 20. They were kind of up towards the front before that caution came out. They took some tires on pit road. They fell back. We'll see how the tires work after just a few laps of action on them. Green flag back in the air. Keyshawn Richardson with a good jump. Seidel looks high. Drew Webb looks really high in the 84 car. They fan out down the front straightaway, and then they're going to hit turn number 1, and they'll have to all kind of form down into a funnel into turn 1, trying to find the few lanes they can use.
Yeah, I'll be really curious to see how these strategies come into play. Everyone we're looking at right now really only took gassed, right? So technically they have what, like a lap and a half of used tires on them. So
Yep.
we'll see if tires are as big as an issue as these guys were thinking here come a long run.
And Max Davis looks severely off the pace at the back of the field. He's already well off the pack and continuing to fade. That number 21 car could become a major issue by the end of this race. A major issue for Keyshawn Richardson is he's going to be 3 wide up top for the lead. Mitchell Collins looking low. Richardson trying to get clear. Drew Webb goes all the way to the bottom. Richardson can't clear into turn number 1. Drew Webb, the rookie, flows it into the bottom of the racetrack, going for the lead on Keyshawn Richardson off turn number 2. The rookie Webb is out in front. Frederick Motorsports down the back straightaway.
You sure he's a rookie, Joe? Because that was a very ballsy move there by him, and that was like almost veteran status right there.
That was a great move, though, for Drew Webb. And there he is to the bottom of the racetrack. He pulls away from the side-by-side battle for second place. Webb is still not guaranteed into all these races for the first few. He needs to be top 35 in points by the end of race number 5. Then he'll be locked in. But up until race number 5, Trey, he has no owner's points to fall back on from 2003. So he could miss some of these races. So a win here could be really, really big for him, or at least a good points day to get himself up in the points in case he does miss a race. So he has a buffer over 35th in points.
Yeah, he's got that Hendrick power underneath him, so he knows he's got the car to do it. It's more if you just got to put yourself in the place to finish good or even go get that win. And he's doing the right thing right now by staying up front, but he's getting challenged by the one car who is sliding through first as well as everyone else following suit.
Anthony Hernandez drove it to the bottom of 3 and 4, made it stick down low. So Hernandez now leads the crowd down the front straightaway to the line. He'll lead the 9th lap. Here comes Idell, a nice push from behind from Sarah Kirchner. Not a push anymore. Kirchner looks low into turn number 1, 3 wide for second place.
Whoa.
She slides it into the corner. She takes the spot away. Roberto Crown Jr. up for 3rd place as they come off turn number 2. Down to the inside on Zidell. Tim Gary coming to the bottom. And here comes Eli Brent, the number 8 car. Here he is, moving up through the field, up inside the top 10 and looking for some more. Going on Keyshawn Richardson. Here he goes on Collins and then Drew Webb. So this number 8 car, just like his teammate Hernandez out front, looks pretty good.
Yeah, it's everyone's still kind of jostling for position, but there seems like as far as we can tell, the cars are really good at handling in the corners. You're just going to be careful diving into the bottom here in 1 and 2 because we've seen them multiple times where a car washes up. Eli maybe a little bit, but he's going to find a gap to fill it into, and Tim Gary's going to follow right behind him.
And Eli Bright made that bottom work. He easily got away. As you can already see on the backstretch, there's Max Davis. I don't know if he was just that slow or if he had an issue and came down pit road, but this number 21 already about to be caught. And we're just a few laps after the restart. Sarah Kirchner now leads the Auto Club 500, runner-up in 2 straight Daytona 500, still looking for that first ever win. And where do they go once catching Max Davis? This 21 car, it looks like it's standing still out there.
Oh, I don't like this.
Oh, no!
There goes, there's contact.
Kukulon got into Max Davis. Luke Rainey, Jordan Stout. Oh, Stout's upside down.
Stout's upside down.
On top of Laura Chung. Kukulon's involved. Hunter Reed, the number 40 of Benny Lynn, and Luke Rainey spun to the infield. The yellow flag is out on Trey. No one's going to be happy with Max Davis after that one.
I mean, when you got a car out there going 20 miles an hour versus guys who are going 180-some, what do you expect to happen, Joe?
Trey, I think 20 is a generous number. I don't think it was just 20.
I mean, it was a rolling roadblock at that point. I understand wanting to finish a race, but there's safety concerns involved. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know how NASCAR allowed that 21 to continue.
And safety there was. I mean, we had Jordan Stout upside down there because of that crash. We had Luke Rainey fly towards the infield wall. I mean, his car was up off the ground. I mean, that was scary stuff. And now with the caution flag out after about 10 laps of racing, you might think that these drivers will maybe come down pit road again. Remember, the fuel window is just about 30 laps. They can't make it from here. However, they'd only be about 7 laps short if they came down pit road. So maybe you come down here, Trey, take 4 tires, and then later in the race take either 2 or fuel only.
Yeah, I mean, I think what we saw in the first caution opened up a lot of different strategy plays here. So as you can see, is that the 45?
That's the 50, Marcus Lerb.
59, yeah. But and then Stout is absolutely destroyed. Those 32s on pit road. But strategy-wise, Joe, I think we could definitely see possibly another mixture. If not, everyone's going to go with 4 tires and fuel, or no one's going to come in, actually.
Yeah, that's kind of shocking.
Wow.
I would think that maybe they would want to come in and just get the fuel now and then just take fuel later, but no one is biting. Obviously, some of the damaged cars, Oscar was involved with that crash. Kukulon was obviously involved. Max Davis is still out there. Good Lord.
You see, see, this is why I said I just never question strategy calls, because apparently I don't know what I'm talking about, Joe.
Yeah, I don't think any of us know what we're talking about. Luke Rennie coming down pit road in the 88. There's Oskin into his pit stall. So A lot more damaged cars, a lot of cars involved in this crash. The yellow flag is out for the second time. Max Davis, the rolling roadblock, takes out a few of our race leaders here in the Auto Club 500 at the California Speedway. All right, Trey, so what happens when you put a car out there that's 40 miles an hour slower than everyone else on the racetrack?
Well, you're about to see it here in about 2 seconds, 1 second, and right here, bang. Right? The 29 gets into him, and then it just goes right up the track, Joe. And at this point, where do you go as a driver if you're not in the bottom lane?
Great save by Matthew Burnett. He missed it. Luke Rennie comes off the wall into Jordan Stout. Sumit Oskin gets hit. Jerry Chen misses on the bottom. Conrad Evans avoids it. McShane through the middle. A lot of cars did a great job. Look at Riley Spurley, too, and then Stout's going to get hit by Fitzwater. And up in the air and up and over goes the 6.
Yeah, and then lands on top of the 19 of Laura Chung, who kind of cushions the flipping for the 6, but at the same time, I don't think you really want a car on top of you.
A cushion for the 6, not a cushion for the 19 car, right? Look at the roof. It's dented in.
Yeah, definitely. That's not what you want to have happen there, but unfortunately, it did happen, and that's not a good day for anyone involved in this wreck, and it easily could have been avoided.
Yep, and let's take a few more looks at this crash, as a lot happened. A lot of drivers who had onboards were kind of near it. Here they are down the front straightaway into turn number 1. Kukulon into Davis, and Luke Rainey, who had such a great string of races going dating back to the end of last season. I mean, his average finish was absolutely insane in that number 88 car. His average finish in the last, what is it, like 6 races or something, was 5.7. I don't think it's going to continue here as he was involved. Kukulon, Stout, Benny Lynn, and all these others. You can see Marcus Lerb, who lost the draft at Daytona, was looking to try and have a good result here, but got involved in this crash. And or Chung driving away, Kukulon driving away. We'll take another view and then go on board with a few drivers that just narrowly missed this crash. All right, Trey, look at this view and just look at everything that happens here once the 6 gets into the 88 right there. I mean, look at this. The track is blocked and
Whoa. I mean, it's a smoke screen, Joe. Once the 20 and the 21 or the 29, I apologize. And you know, the 21 of Max Davis make contact, it's just a smoke screen and you can't see anything. You're just kind of maybe trying to put on the brakes, hope not to get run into, and hoping for the best. And unfortunately, it caught a number of drivers. What is that, 7, 8 drivers involved right there?
Yeah, nearly 10 drivers involved in this one. We'll go on board with the driver who just missed it, Lathan Strickland, around the beginning of the crash, who was able to find a way through the mess in his number 48 Lowe Chevrolet. And here's the view from Lathan Strickland as Armageddon starts in front of him. Look at that. Woo.
I think he might need a new fire suit, Joe, because all you saw was smoke and then cars sideways pointing at you.
He might need one, but Riley Spurley too might need one. He narrowly missed the crash happening around him. Let's go on board the 28 car. And here's the view from Riley Spurley. Smoke stars up in front. Where do you go? Where do you go? Go! Whoa! Woo.
He almost clipped that 6, Joe.
Yeah,
he almost. And then look, we're still trying to get past 21.
Yeah, he was almost the one that flipped Jordan Stout. Instead, he still has a clean race car. He's still in to win the Auto Club 500. But up at the front, Sarah Kirchner looking to avenge the Daytona 500 loss. She leads here in California. Coming back to the green flag here at the California Speedway, Sarah Kirchner out in front in the number 33. And we do have some retirees, obviously, from that crash, including Marcus Lerb, Jordan Stout, who just had a dismal weekend and a dismal start to the season, really, at Daytona, and now here at the California Speedway. Is involved in the only caution flag at Daytona, involved here in Upside Down, and also landed on Laura Chung. She's done for the day. Obviously too much damage with the number 19 car in the roof area, and Sebastian Kukulon. Max Davis is still out there, 37th place, 1 lap down. Zachary Fitzwater Sr. is out there, winner of this race last season, a lap down in 36th. And then we have cars with damage. Luke Rainey in 35th, Oskin in 34th, Jericho 33rd. Benny Lynn was involved in the crash, so was Hunter Reed. So we have about 30 clean race cars from 31st down. Good luck with it, and we'll have to see how it all works out. So we have Kirchner in the lead, and then in second, DeLello, Gary third, fourth for Eli Bright, fifth for Hernandez. Then you have Crown Jr. 6th, Thompson 7th, Webb 8th, Wells 9th, Zidell is 10th. Back green at California. Great jump for Sarah Kirchner. She gets away. DeLello maybe spun the tires in second place. Tim Gary looking low in the number 10. Eli Brent looking high in the number 8 car as they race into 1. And Eli may have just missed the corner right there.
Yeah, I don't know. And it looked like Keegan Thompson kind of did the same thing. There was a big check up there. I wonder if, maybe they went into the corner with a little bit more confidence than what they actually had in the car there. Remember, Joe, no one pit. So they're running on older tires, and They really haven't been in a situation like this yet, this race.
And here we go for the lead. Zachary DeLillo looking low on Sarah Kirchner. They battle side by side off turn number 4. They kind of get away, these 3 cars do, from 4th on back because they're side by side. DeLillo and Kirchner across the stripe in a dead heat at the stripe. Zachary DeLillo leads the lap, his first lap of the day. He goes into turn number 1 with the lead. Kirchner slides up the track. Here comes Tim Gary to the bottom of the number 10 car. Gary looking for second, looking for his first win since Texas World in 2001, and it might be a good track for him to get a win at. Gary has been very good here in the past few races. He finished 5th and 3rd, 2 top 5s during the last 2 California races for this number 10 driver.
Yeah, he's always, in contention at tracks like this, and it's just showing you yet again that he has what it takes. It's just you got to go catch that 16 now, who is absolutely pulling away.
Yeah, Zachary DeLillo said, "I'll see you guys later," and he's pulled away by 0.6 of a second over Sarah Kirchner and the rest of the field, but maybe we shouldn't be surprised. DeLillo has won here in the past. He's been very good here. This number 16 driver, Trey, Zachary DeLillo, in all of his California races combined, Trey, his worst finish is 20th place. He's never finished outside the top 20 here at the California Speedway, and he won here in 2001.
That's scary if you're anyone against him. You know that?
Yeah, I'd be scared if I'm going out there and being like, all right, this man's never finished outside the top 20 at a track that's completely random at points. So that just shows he has the luck, but he also has the speed. And, I mean, these Roush cars, they're built very, very fast. And we're seeing it right here. 3 wide, Drew Webb making a move on the DEI cars. Hernandez backed out. There goes Eli Bright to the top. And, Trey, how about this man? Tyler Belladonna. He was the slowest car in qualifying. He started 42nd place. Here he is, Trey. He was 50th of 50th in qualifying, up inside the top 10, moving for the top 5.
Well, when you miss 2 wrecks, you have a fast car underneath you in Roush, and your teammates leading it. You know you got to get up there. And Joe, not to mention your other teammates, the Daytona 500 champion, right behind you. They're kind of pushing you through this field. Look at that teamwork.
Yeah, there he is. They both moved down together, trying to get by the number 84, the Hendrick car of Drew Webb. And there goes Rando with, there goes Belladonna. I thought maybe Rando was going to go with them. Maybe thinking to get a better arc into the corner so that he can try and make the move by. Belladonna gets away. Rando moving by Drew Webb. Belladonna now looking on Tim Gary for 4th place. Thompson's through to 3rd. Sarah Kirchner is gaining on Zachary DeLillo for the race lead. Belladonna can't quite get to the inside of Tim Gary, so the number 10 will keep 4th for now, but Belladonna sends it in deep.
Ooh.
Gary blocks it off.
Yeah, if there's one man that's going to be tough to pass, it's his 10 car of Tim Gary. As you can see, was that Luke Rainey dipping down pit road?
And that was classy. He was about to be caught, and he dipped down pit road to make sure that he wasn't going to be, a mess to this pack.
Yeah, that's they maybe learned a little bit something from the latest incident we just had. As you saw Sarah Kirchner there kind of missed the corner a little bit, held up Tim Gary, and now you got 2 Roush guys on the bottom making their way through.
Yeah, Tyler Belladonna with Jay Rando behind. Jay Rando looking to become just the 2nd driver in the history of the Cup Series to win the first 2 races of a season. Jeff Wright did it in 1999. No other driver has done it in the history of the Nextel Cup Series. Maybe Rando can join Jeff Wright in that elite company to win the first 2 races of the season.
Yeah, we'll have to we'll see if he make his way up there. It looks like they're strong right now, running this bottom line, but you got to go catch, first off, Keegan Thompson, who always seems to be strong whenever that 5 car is on it, and the other guy you got to catch is their teammate who is controlling this race right now.
Zachary DeLillo's gotten the lead and held onto it in that number 16 car. Here comes Atkins. Here comes Mathis Wells going 3 wide on Eli Bright and Tim Gary. Wells being very aggressive. How about Matt Tuck driving it to the bottom of the racetrack? Tuck missed the Daytona 500 for Bill Davis Racing, trying to get a good run here to get the points to get inside the top 35. Another driver not locked in to these first 5 races, but could be locked in if he's top 35 at the end of race number 5. Right now, 9th place and going for some more spots. 8th on Eli Bright and 7th on Mathis Wells and 6th on Sarah Kirchner. This 23 car is flying through the field here at California.
He is absolutely pushing his stuff. The only thing you got to worry about, Joe, is how it's going to hurt yourself in the long run there. As you can see in distance, Joe, is who I think it is again. It might unfortunately be that 21, but right now they are absolutely battling right now for 7th.
You see Zidell going from top to bottom to get underneath Sarah Kirchner. Conrad Evans, who started outside pole, coming back on Ryan Wilson. Jerry Chen, Frederick Motorsports, won a duel at Daytona, finished inside the top 10 in the 500. Now Jerry Chen racing inside the top 10 here at the California Speedway, going for 7th place on Matt Tuck in turns 1 and 2. The front of the field is tightening up. Belladonna and Rando have caught the Hendrick car of Keegan Thompson, who's slowly catching their teammates, Zarco DeLello in the number 16. So we have 3 Roush cars straight versus 1 lone Hendrick car here at the front of the field. And here we come on to Luke Rainey in the 88 car.
So we'll have to see if Luke might jump down pit road again, or if he's going to stay up and move out of the way for these guys. It looks like he's going to stay on pit road. We'll see how it goes this time. He might be a little faster, but Joe, they're still closing in really fast.
Zarco DeLello.
Oh, here we go.
Went
here
to
we
the
go.
top.
Oh.
Tyler Belladonna's trying to go to the bomb in the 17 car, and Luke Rainey might just cause Zarco DeLello.
It looked like Luke moved up to give them the bottom, but the 16 had other plans.
But then he hit him in turns 1 and 2. What was that for?
Be like, hey, I gave you the bottom. Why didn't you take it?
Yeah, but at that point, Trey, you're hurting. You're hurting your credibility.
I mean, in all fairness, he was stuck in the middle. He had no place to go, and with the damage back
out, Trey.
He can't kick. It was behind him.
No, he could. He absolutely could have.
I don't know.
Trey, when does a lap car drive it into the corner harder than a lead lap car?
When you're trying to stay on the lead lap. He was already lapped down, so
yeah,
that's not a good argument.
I don't understand what Luke was doing there. He kind of just, I don't know, he just kind of drove into DeLello for no reason, but luckily they didn't crash it. So, oh, look at Jay Rando. Wow.
Yeah, that's he sees an opportunity to go make up spaces right now, and he's doing it very aggressively, though.
Wow, Keegan Thompson was the meat in the sandwich there, and luckily got out of that as Rando made the move to the bottom. DeLello wasn't giving much room. Luckily, they all kind of got out of it in one piece as Tyler Belladonna trying to pull away and lead and win his first ever NASCAR Nextel Cup Series race. The battle is on for second place. Thompson has it. Rando wants it on the bottom of the racetrack. He's going to take it. But Trey, we're within 10 laps of these drivers having to come down pit road. Remember, they came down pit road around lap number 2, and then only damaged cars pitted under the last caution. So they can go about 30 laps on a tank of fuel. So we're thinking within the next 5 laps, Trey, we're going to be making some moves on the pit road.
Yeah, I'll be curious to see who does what here, because, you know, maybe if those guys who took 4 tires don't, you know, only have to take 2 now, right? Or those guys who took 2 have to go take 4 now. It'll be interesting to see what strategies these guys have lined up here and what is going to come out on top.
Looking at the lap times, Trey, I think that everyone might just have to take 4 tires because the lap times have fallen off 2 full seconds, and we're not even at the end of the run yet. So they're dropping off tenths a lap because of the tire wear. So I think 4 tires could be the way to go for everyone, even if they took 4 in the last stop.
So with that being said, then it's just going to be a battle of who has the best pit crew and who can be the fastest in hitting your marks, getting your guys around the car, changing out the tires and all that stuff without any mistakes.
And who can miss these 2 lap cars up ahead? Max Davis and Zarco Fitzwater Sr. are together as lap traffic, and the 2 Roush cars at the front of the field are going to catch them first. Zarco DeLello's going 3 wide, putting Atkins in the middle and Thompson up top into turns 1 and 2. DeLello's going to make it work easy on the bottom of the racetrack. So now we have a Roush 1, 2, 3 with Belladonna, Rando, and DeLello leading the way. And now they're side by side!
Side by side!
Where's Belladonna going to go?
Oh, what are we going to do?
Belladonna.
Why are we racing side by side, Joe?
Belladonna went high. Rando goes low. Fitzwater's trying to get a run to maybe get clear of Max Davis.
They're stacking everyone up.
Belladonna around the outside is going to at least get clear of the lap cars. He might lose the lead, but he's through them. Look at Keegan Thompson trying to move high. Davis blocks. Well,
NASCAR is going to be furious with these guys.
At least now they've both moved high, which is at least good. Not good for Keegan Thompson, who's still stuck behind Max Davis and might not have a shot to get low because Riley Spraywood's moving low.
Oh, my goodness.
See Thompson try there, but he couldn't.
I'm at a loss right now. What are we doing?
And now Fitzwater's holding up Evan Hunter in the 36 car. Hunter falling back behind Riley Spraywood and some others because here comes Jacob Miller and Keegan Thompson to the bottom of the racetrack. So lots of stuff happening around. Meanwhile, the Daytona 500 champion is out front leading over his teammate Zarco DeLello. Fitzwater moves aside. Hunter loses some spots but gets by. Here's Jerry Chen up into the top 500 Motorsports, 4th place for the number 24. But Atkins sends it in deep on the bottom of the racetrack. Atkins will take 4th away. Wells is up to 3rd. Chasing those 2 Roush cars though, Trey. Jay Randall leading with DeLello right behind. They look pretty strong at the front of the field. If it's not the 17 leading, it's the 16. If it's not the 16, it's 97. So they've gotten quite a good establishment at the front of the field.
Yeah, whoa. A little cut off there.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah, that was an interesting maneuver there. I don't know if he was trying to make sure that he kept the lead or if he was trying to hold up his teammate there, because that kind of created a little bit of a gap. So that was we'll see what comes out of that. But the 20 is going to take advantage of it, though. He won't get there.
Yeah, he couldn't quite do it, but he was looking to take advantage, that's for sure. Mathis was looking low in turns 1 and 2. Didn't have the space to make it work, decided to back out. Here comes Atkins in the number 3 car. Up the back straightaway, Atkins moving down to the bottom of the racetrack. DeLello moving low for the lead into turns 3 and 4. Looking on teammate Jay Rando. As we're nearing pit stops, the 2 Roush cars are at the front of the field going side by side for the lead. Rando up top, DeLello down low to the start-finish line. Who leads the lap? We have 1 car peeling in towards the back, and the caution's out.
I thought I saw smoke in the back, but oh my goodness.
Lots of cars. Henry Guo, Jacob Miller was in it, Priya McShane. Burnett
Those cars are destroyed.
Burnett was on pit road. Evan Hunter was on pit road. So how are they going to play out in this?
What could have happened?
Maybe someone was coming down pit road and just didn't check their mirrors right.
I don't know. We'll have to wait for a replay to come out. But Joe, this is gonna settle that thing of green flag pit stops. It's gonna be very busy on pit road right now.
Yeah, it's gonna be caution flag pit stops. So Jay Rendo's gonna lead the crowd in. I'm really curious how these 2 are gonna cycle out, right? Because they were on pit road when the caution came out. Matthew Burnett, Evan Hunter. They're gonna get their service. They're gonna leave now. The question is, you know, are they going to lose all that track position? Are they going to be a net neutral? Maybe they could gain track position if they get around the racetrack fast enough to where they beat these guys before they get off pit road.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be pushing to get around here. So I'll also be curious to see where they come out. But right now, let's see who has the fast stop here of these guys coming in as a group.
And so Jay Brandon leading them in, and these are the money stops, the final ones of the day, and everyone's going to have to try and do everything right on pit road to nail the pit stop and be the first ones, or at least one of the first few, off the pit lane. It's obviously going to be 4 tires with all that tire fall off, and Jay Brando's crew so far a solid stop in that number 97. Very big pit stalls luckily here, so a lot of room to move around there as Jay Brando leads. There you can see Tyler Belladonna. I think I just saw some cars go by. I don't know if it was the 36 and the 25. I think that's Evan Hunter up there.
Was.
Yeah.
So they made it around before these guys got off. That's a big gain for them.
That is, so I think they're going to be the race leaders when it cycles through. It looks like most everything stayed the same off pit road. Just the big change is going to be these 2. As they came in, as the caution came out, Evan Hunter, Matthew Burnett. Looks like they're going to be the race leaders. They're going to have 2 lap cars. I don't know if they're going to pit. Jericho's on pit road, so he might stay up there. We'll see if Luke Rennie comes down pit road or if he decides to try and stay up there as well. But the caution flag is out for the 3rd time here at the California Speedway. Let's go check out what happened. A possible crash getting onto pit road, and 3 cars destroyed. Jacob Miller, Henry Guo, and Priya McShane are done for the day here in California. Well, Trey, I honestly don't know how to call this. I don't know if Jacob Miller's just entering the corner normally and Tim Gary gets into him right here, or if Miller's trying to come down pit road. But either way, what happens is the 10 gets into the 9, and, I mean, it just unfortunately spins Miller out. Once again, I don't know if Miller's trying to cut down to pit or if the 10 just got into him. We can't really call that until we get the driver's side there. But this is where the hits start to come for Jacob Miller. That first hit obviously was hard, but a lot softer than what these 2 are going to be right here. Henry Guo, ooh.
Just clipped them, and then it's going to spin. Joe, you think it's over, but one more car coming, and what a terrible sight for this 9.
Oh, yeah, and I mean, that's not the first time an Evernham car has seen that sight of a car coming towards them, and this time obviously not deliberate. I think Miller was trying to get going, and McShane thought the bottom was open, and then that spot kind of just closed, and see these guys doing a great job slowing down, getting by, but unfortunately these 3 cars involved are going to be done for the day. Let's go take a look in full speed and then go on board with Lathan Strickland again, because the 48 car was kind of involved in this one. Here's another view into turns 3 and 4 with Gary and Miller getting together, and I just don't.
I don't know how you call that.
Yeah,
that's weird. And then flipped right there, and then again, like watch, Miller has so much time, and then he just watches the 00 of Priya McShane drive right into the front of him.
Lots of damage to all 3 guys. Let's go on board with Lathan Strickland, the number 48 car, just narrowly involved in this one after Henry Guo gets involved, and then the 48 car kind of taps the 0 as he spins around. And here's a view from Lathan Strickland's on board, number 48 car. He thinks he hasn't missed. He thinks he hasn't missed until that happens. Little tap to the 0. He does get the car back going, so we'll see how good the 48 is going to be after that contact. See those 2 cars on pit road, Evan Hunter, Matthew Burnett. They're going to cycle out to the front after this is all said and done. So it's going to be Evan Hunter to lead the Auto Club 500 here at the California Speedway. So we'll go back here with just over 10 laps to go. Back to the green flag here at the California Speedway with 13 laps of racing to go. Evan Hunter and Matthew Burnett pitted before the caution flag came out. So they're going to be 1-2 after it all cycles through. So it's going to be Hunter Burnett out in front with Rando in third. First car off pit road under the caution flag. Then DeLello in fourth, and fifth place for Mathis Wells. Tyler Belladonna is sixth. Jerry Chen is seventh. Eighth place for Justin Atkins. Matt Tuck is ninth. Sarah Kirchner up inside the top 10. So drivers looking for their first ever wins up inside the top 10. You have Kirchner, you have Tuck, you have Jerry Chen, you have Tyler Belladonna. So we'll have to see how those four drivers could try and do, if they could try and get by the guys in front that already have wins. Cars out from that crash include Perry McShane, Henry Guo, and Jacob Miller. Luke Rainey, Chris Jericho are in front of the race leaders as damaged lap cars. We'll see how they go. The green flag is out. Evan Hunter jumps up to the outside, trying to put a lap on both of them. Chris Jericho trying to get by Luke Rainey. Hunter's going to get by. Matthew Burnett's going to get halted. And look at Jay Randall all the way to the top, 4 wide to the corner.
I don't like this, Joe. Last time we were 4 wide, it didn't work. It seems like they settled it out, though. So that's good. Can we calm down a little bit here? Have a nice long green flag run.
We're going to need the lap cars to get out of the way for that to work, Trey, as they race down the back straightaway. Front 5 get clear in single file. Tyler Belladonna's by the 88 car. Luke Rennie's holding up Matt Tuck. He's holding up Tim Gary, Anthony Hernandez, and Riley Spurgeon as well. Spurgeon's going to try and get low as everyone tries to filter around. Then they have Chris Jericho to deal with, who is just a little bit faster, so he's not as bad. See Jericho already pulled up to the top side, trying to let everyone have room. You can see Atkins actually moving up to the top. Jericho doesn't know where to go now, the 18 car.
Yeah, I don't know where you go. It's a good question. Figure it out here. He's still trying to figure it out. He's going to move up top. Still in the way. What do you do?
Yeah, it's Keegan Thompson getting halted right there for the lead. Jay Rando is there, and Evan Hunter down into turns 3 and 4 on the bottom of the racetrack. Rando is back by Evan Hunter, and the 97's back out in front. Here comes Mathis Wells in the number 20 Home Depot Chevrolet. Up to third by Matthew Burnett. Burnett, the pole sitter, back to fourth, and DeLello just hanging tough in fifth place. Then sixth on back trying to catch up. Jerry Chen, Sarah Kirchner, Tyler Belladonna, and then Ryan Wilson up inside the top 10, getting by Conrad Evans for ninth, and maybe Belladonna for eighth. As up at the front, Wells is by Evan Hunter. Wells to second place, trying to chase down Jay Rando, and Burnett's going for third on the number 36 car up the back straightaway.
We'll have to see if he can get any sort of dive here into 3. He's going to try to do it, but I don't think he's going to get beneath the 36. As I say that, he actually does, but the real question is the momentum going to carry off the corner. And
it did not. Hunter got the run off the top of turn number 4. He gets back in line in third place. So front 5 have gotten away, but as they battle like they are, 6th on back is catching some draft and closing in just a little bit. Jerry Chen, Sarah Kirchner, 6th and 7th. They're a second and a half back, but they're only about 7/10 of a second behind 5th place, which is now Zachary DeLello. Up the back straightaway, here's the battle for the lead. Jay Rando has it. Mathis Wells wants to take it away. Down on the back bumper into turns 3 and 4. 9 laps to go at the line. Rando goes a little bit wider. Wells looks lower, but Rando holds the spot for now. Come back to 9 laps to go in the Auto Club 500.
The one that's probably in the best seat right now is at 36, Evan Hunter, because if these front 2 get together, you know who's going to be the one benefiting from it?
That number 36 car. So we'll have to see if Evan Hunter can stay there, and if these front 2 do ever start battling very aggressively, if he can try and take advantage. Jay Rando in the 97 goes a little bit wide again. Mathis Wells goes lower. He pulls right up to the back bumper. Jay Rando at the back straightaway, looking to try and find a way around this Roush Racing number 97. Can Rando win back-to-back races at the start of the season? Wells sends it into the bottom deep. He's going to try and look for the lead through 3 and 4, but once again, Trey, the 97 powers up the top and maintains the top position with now 8 laps to go here at California.
I think the only way you're going to get past this 97 is if this 20 and 36 end up working together, but if they're going to side by side, so you're going to allow that 97 to just pull away a little bit.
Rando again, though, Trey, missed the bottom of 1 and 2, and the gap he had gained, it's back gone. Mathis Wells is closed back in on the 97 car, so Jay Rando needs to start trying to make the bottom of the corners. I just don't know what it is. His car's just not working. Now Mathis Wells goes high, and Evan Hunter moves low.
These guys are just tearing into their tires right now, but it's what you got to do with less than 10 laps to go. The only issue is that it's not really gaining them any ground on the leader because they're all just kind of having a stalemate right now. But Joe, look who's coming behind this 36.
Yeah, watch out. Zachary DeLello, Sarah Kirchner, 4th and 5th are closing in. So is Jerry Chen. Matthew Burnett's fading back. Bibi Ruiz and Drew Webb are up inside the top 10. Watch for them. They're just about... Oh, caution's out again. Oh.
Oh. Cease?
Tyler Belladonna. I think Riley Spurley may have just been caught in the wall.
It looked like the car was stuck in the wall with the safer barrier. I'm not sure, Joe, but is this the race?
It's not. We're going to have a late race restart. This is with 6 laps to go. They're going to have a restart with under 5 laps to go here at the California Speedway. That's the 4th caution flag of the day. That happened up towards the front of the field. Belladonna was running well. He was involved. We saw Riley Spurley tube in it. In the 28, we saw Ryan Wilson. Those guys were running around the top 15 positions. But now we have a restart to deal with for the leaders. And once again, another big crash here at the California Speedway. It's going to collect the 28th to 15. They're going to be done for the day. Let's go check out what happened. 4th caution flag out here at California in the Auto Club 500. Well, Trey, the hard hits keep on coming here in turns 1 and 2. They're 4 wide. See Ahmed Wallet down to the bottom of the 91 car, and Riley Spurtube, Ryan Wilson, Conrad Evans are going to be the ones to get stuck in this, and Spurtube slides up. Wilson's there. They get together. Belladonna just gets clipped in the 17. Oh.
I mean, clearly it's a malfunctioning safer barrier, Joe, because cars aren't supposed to be able to break through it.
Yeah, they, wow.
Yeah, I don't, how do you explain that?
I don't know how to explain that. I mean, that was a very hard hit, obviously, and we hope Riley Spurtube's okay. That was a nasty collision for those guys involved. We'll take a look at full speed. Riley Spurtube, Ryan Wilson, a hard crash. Here it is again off into turn 1. And, oh.
I mean, that's just, I've never seen anything like that before.
No, that's nasty, is what that was. And hard hit for Riley Spurtube, Ryan Wilson, even Tyler Belladonna took a hard hit in that. But it's Belladonna's teammate Jay Randall still leading the way. Unlike at Daytona, it's not going to end under the caution flag here. He's going to have to deal with a late race restart with Mathis Wells, the 2002 champion, right on his bumper. Can Rando try and become just the 2nd driver to win the first 2 races, or can Mathis Wells rebound with the win at California? We'll find out in just a few laps here on JRTV. Back here on JRTV for the conclusion of the Auto Club 500, and it's coming down to the wire. Just 2 laps for these race leaders to decide which gets to victory lane. Jay Rando looking to become just the 2nd driver in Nextel Cup Series history to win the first 2 races of the season. Jeff Bright, the other one in 1999. Mathis Wells, the California Speedway has not been kind to him. Wells, his average finish here, not all that great. His 4 finishes, 25th, 6th, 41st, and 9th. Could he possibly add a 1st here today? Evan Hunter has always been good here at the California Speedway. His last 2 races here, 2 top 10s, 6th and 10th. Can he get to victory lane? Can Zachary DeLello find victory lanes? Never finished below 20th here. Sarah Kirchner has never won in her Nextel Cup Series career. She lines up in 5th. Jerry Chen has the same sort. His first ever race here at the California Speedway. How about Bibi Ruiz, who finished inside the top 10 last season? Matthew Burnett, Drew Webb, and Keegan Thompson, those Hendrick cars, are lined up inside the top 10. But it's a 2-lap restart. Mathis Wells steps on the gas, goes high, the green flag is out. Jay Randall stays low. Can Evan Hunter move for 2nd place, or does Wells have a good enough run to stay clear into turn number 1? Rando comes up to cover the spot from Wells, and Evan Hunter moves to the bottom of the racetrack. Wells goes high. They're side by side for a 2nd, and Rando loves seeing that. He can try to pull away in the 97 car.
Just say Rando did everything he wanted to do, and that's just get clear and have those guys side by side behind him. Now he's in control of this race. But the real question is there going to be a run coming to the white flag here on the front stretch that's going to be able to challenge this 97?
Evan Hunter got to the bottom of the racetrack, got clear of Mathis Wells. He's going to have 1 shot on the last lap to get to Jay Rando and get by him. Here's the white flag in the final lap. 2 miles remain. Can Jay Rando go back-to-back to start the season? Can Evan Hunter look for his first non-super speedway win? Down into turn number 1. They bury them to the bottom of the racetrack. Rando holds Hunter at bay for now, but if Hunter gets the draft off turn number 2 and down the back straightaway, he can have a shot in 3 and 4. He closes in to within half a car length up the backstretch for the final time. Rando in front. Hunter is there. Can he look to the bottom? He might look to the bottom. Randall goes high. Hunter moves low. Through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Randall stays clear. Hunter behind him a car length back to the checker flag. Jay Randall wins back-to-back to start the season here at California. Well, Trey, I think Roush Racing is serious this season.
Why do you say that, Joe?
Well, if it's not Roush Racing as a whole, Jay Randall was serious. Back-to-back from Daytona to California and everywhere in between, Jay Randall has won the first 2 races of the season, and that's even after, Trey, a very busy media week for him after winning the 500.
Yeah, he's going to be exhausted here going into the next race, but right now, Joe, all he's worried about is celebrating because so far he's 2 for 2 on the season, absolutely dominating right now, and I don't know what else you could ask for.
That's history right there. I mean, you know, only Jeff Bright, the other driver to do it. 1999, Jay Randall adds his name to that list here in 2004, and I mean, that points lead going to be very big. Think about it. The winner now this season gets more points than ever before. 190 points Jay Randall gets for each win. He led the most laps at Daytona. I have to believe he led the most laps here at California. He might just leave, Trey, with 200 points from each race. That would be a 400 points in just 2 races. That would be a perfect season so far.
That's just crazy to think about, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, it's incredible. So we'll have to. He's going to be absolutely excited. I know Roush is going to be excited, and we'll have to see if they can continue to carry the momentum.
And we will have to see as the field comes down the pit road into the garage area. We'll go take a look at the finishing results from the Auto Club 500. Jay Randall on top for the 2nd straight week. Car number 97 back to victory lane here at the California Speedway. Evan Hunter close again. 3rd place at Daytona. 2nd place here. Maybe it's 1st place next week for the 36. Hunter ends up in 2nd here today. 3rd for Mathis Wells. Very solid day after getting involved late at Daytona. And here he is, top 5, back to the ways that we're used to seeing Mathis Wells. And Sarah Kirchner, 2nd place at Daytona. Top 5 here with the 4th place. Zachary DeLello, a top 5 here in this number 16 car. Keegan Thompson battled back up to finish in 6th place. His best ever run here at the California Speedway. Before this, his best finish was 13th. So, found some success here this season. Baby Ruiz back-to-back top 10s here at the California Speedway. Last season, it was a 6th place finish. This season, 7th place. 8th to Drew Webb, the rookie. Very impressive there for Webb in a very good points day to try and move himself up further inside the top 35 to try and be there at the end of race number 5. Hernandez with the top 10 was very fast all day long. Jerry Chen, a top 10, had a car that was good enough for maybe a top 5 if it played out right. Keyshawn Richardson ends up in 11th. Ahmed Walid in 12th. Matthew Burnett from pole in 13th. Justin Zeidel 14th. Mitchell Collins, his teammate, right there with him in 15th. How about Conrad Evans in 16th. David Dixon, first ever race in the Nextel Cup Series. Top 20 for that Swindell Racing team. Tim Gary for MB2 Motorsports with a top 20 in 18th. Then Eli Bright, Justin Atkins complete the top 20. Then down here, these drivers either held up by lap traffic or kind of involved in some messes. We never really talked about Nathan Baird here today. Strickland got some damage. Matt Tuck got held up by lap traffic. Hunter Reed was involved in some crashes. Benny Lynn as well. So was Sumit Oskin. Obviously, Tyler Belladonna was up at the front, led laps, but involved in that last caution flag of the day. Chris Jericho, first car off the lead lap. Max Davis with a top 30, even after all he went through. See Fitzwater, winner of this race last season. Luke Rainey down there, 3 laps down, and then a lot of retirees, over 10 of them. See Ryan Wilson and Riley Spurley-Tube and on down the list for all those drivers out of the Auto Club 500. All the way down to the first car out, Jude Martinelli from the lap number 2 crash with Max Davis and the number 18 of Chris Jericho. And now we take a look at the points. After 2 races, Jay Randall has amassed a pretty good points lead, but still lots of time left. 30 races remain in the season, and anything can happen in these final 30 races of the 2004 NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. So, Trey, final thoughts from California. It was quite a crazy race with 4 caution flags, but in the end, same result as Daytona. Jay Randall in victory lane.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, that's just kind of a statement right there, don't you think? After winning the biggest race of the year, you go back and win another one, and like you said, probably leading the most laps in both of them. So, I think if there's ever a time to pick an early favorite think we got our guy, Joe.
Yeah, Jay Randall might just be the early favorite for the 2004 title, but we'll have to see how he does over these next few races. If he can try and maintain that momentum, maybe become the first driver to win the first 3 races of this season. No one's ever done that before in the NASCAR Nextel Cup Series. But the 3rd race of the season, think about Daytona with the high banks and the 2.5 mile kind of pack racing. Then we come to California, 2-mile racetrack, fast speeds, a little bit lower banking. How about we find the happy medium for race number 3, because we're going racing at the Texas World Speedway, a 2-mile high banked oval. It's the Pennzoil 400. That's going to be a fun one right here on JRTV. We've seen some upsets there in the past. We saw last season Roush Racing win the race with Keyshawn Richardson coming from the back of the field after failing inspection to win the race. We saw Tim Gary win there in 2001, Eli Bright win there in 2002 in his first ever race win. So we'll have to see how it all plays out next week on JRTV at the Texas World Speedway. For Trey Bardo and Joe Rakowski, so long from California. Congratulations to Jay Reno on the win here today, and tune in next week for the Pennzoil 400 at the Texas World Speedway.